Obviously, 1 year in, and we've done our obviously first big update, and obviously today we're going to be announcing obviously 2024 and numerous other bits and bobs. Want to obviously thank everybody for getting involved, all the end users, obviously all the programming staff, the whole team. I mean, literally, most of the guys haven't stopped since we started. Juice has been wanting a week off for, well, let's be honest, half a year, 3/4 of a year, and has not had one break throughout the whole of that time. So, really big, huge thank you to Juice. Obviously, remember this, I think probably about an hour and a half's time last year was when we discovered that actually so many people tried to buy Lightwave on that point where we announced it. We broke our system entirely. So I'm sure everybody pretty much remembers that, because it went down for more or less, well, once or twice a day for about 3 weeks. So anyway, obviously we've had an amazing year, obviously with Lightwave 2023, and we've just, I think, Juice, have we now got out 2023.02?
I have it like under my thumb, ready to launch.
Oh, ready to go,
buddy.
so
ready to go. Actually, I'm
Yeah.
thinking about the timing on that. Because there's actually some fun stuff with that one.
Oh yeah.
Just saying,
Yeah, there's some little tweaks in there, loads of sort of updates and improvements, stacks of bug fixes, and so that's coming out, when Juice pushes the button. But anyway, so soon, so which is good. And so let's have a look through my list. So what we're doing today. So we've got this 10 o'clock session is really just an introduction. We're going to go through what's happening in the day. I'll probably go through some of the new features that are going to come in 2024. Then we have an interview with me, and then we've got a history of Lightwave sort of show reel. I mean, there's obviously, you couldn't put everything in there. The reel would be a day long, but we put a stack in there of things that we've all forgotten that Lightwave did, and obviously some of the new stuff. We have a Lightsabre tutorial as well, and then at midday we start doing the demos. So we're going to be doing a weight brush demo, which, you say weight brush demo, it's better than just a weight brush demo. It is a fantastic new tool that is in the layout that allows you to weight brush in layout, but actually it's immensely powerful. So Juice is going to be showing that off, and I won't oversell it, but you all need to see it. It's fantastic, and a really good step forward. We have then a relatively small Octane demo, which is showing the new fog. So obviously we're upgrading Octane to have a load of the new features. So we're opening with adding fog. Then we've got some pre-recorded interviews, Simon Smalley and Paolo Arch, and then another tutorial. And then we move on to 2 o'clock. We've got a live panel. That's obviously Juice, Elmar, me, as I think we did at certain points last year. So you can ask questions. We can sort of dodge them and or answer some of them, etc. That's going to be really that session. Again, another tutorial at the end of that. Then at 1600, we've got the first of the Tendril demos, and we're also going to be showing Thicken and Lathe new nodes. So the Tendril demo is part of 2 demos we're going to be doing on Tendril today. And all of you are sitting there thinking, what is Tendril? And we're sitting here thinking, what is Tendril? Now, we only named it a few days ago, so it's had several names, including Steve at one point. So we are literally going to be demoing that today. It's so flexible. It's fantastic, and so we're going to be showing one of the simpler functions first, then we're going to be showing some of the more complicated stuff you can do with it. It is alpha code, as in a lot of the things we're going to be showing today, so if something crashes, just expect it. It's bound to happen. and especially to me. And we've been playing with this stuff for the last few days, me and Juice, and it's been pretty solid. So, famous last words. Why did I say that? I don't know. Anyway, so
I don't know. I just think it's funny that when you said if it crashes, and at least here on my view, your camera froze. I mean, it was amazing. It was
perfect.
It was an amazing coincidence.
So, yeah, we're at the start of it. So here we go. So obviously then we're going to be showing, so basically thicken, lay, tendrils. And we'll also show octane photon shading as well. So that's again another really nice function added into octane, which we've got there. We're also going to be showing, I mean, they've added some new lens effects, so you've got a few lens flares in there from octane as well. I think I'll probably show that on the first session, but anyway, we're showing some of the things that we're updating. There are some things which we didn't get quite done in time, but they'll be coming. There's I think there's a whole new set of lights in octane we're going to be adding, and we're working through those things now and adding them to it. We've then got some interviews with Khalid. Is that Khalid Al-Maraki?
Yeah.
And yeah. So he's fantastic, great guy. He basically does some of the best architectural visualization, I mean, scale-wise, I've ever seen. So he visualizes whole city.
Whole of Bahrain.
Yeah, the whole of Bahrain, but not just that. He's done stuff for Saudi. I mean, you know, across the Middle East, and he will visualize whole building projects, and then you can go right down to individual buildings. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I'm talking about with real time, and he's using a combination of 3D Studio Max into Lightwave into Unreal, and you know, sort of a really nice pipeline, but it works great. And he's used Lightwave for years for that, and obviously, yeah, so it's a great demo to see. And then there's I think Lewis is doing a planet, I haven't seen someone do planet tutorial with clouds for ages, and I love that. It's sort of an effect we used to use at Darkside many years ago, and it's brilliant. So Lewis is going to be showing that, which is great. I think that's pre-recorded, isn't it? So that demo, I think. Anyway, so that's the 6 o'clock demo, and then at 8 o'clock tonight we'll do a wrap up and go through those things. So, okay, so I have two lists today. I have a list I'm not allowed to show and a list I'm allowed to show. So if anybody sees me reading from the big list, shut up and you'll get more information than you're expecting. No, I won't do that. So, but there is a stack of stuff that's in the update we can't yet talk about, but they're the same as last year, really. But obviously, we'll talk through a load of the stuff that's that we can this time round. You know, because obviously it's very early days. So, so that's
it's one of those first things. I mean, it's taken us a year to really learn how to keep Andy under control. And we still haven't quite gotten there yet.
No, you never know what's going to literally come out of my mouth at any point.
Andy, that's why I have my finger ready on the mute button.
On the mute button, yeah. It's like a Lightwave Tourette's. It's that's anyway. So okay, so a couple of things. We've got a quiz and a competition. So I think the competition is Star Wars themed, which obviously, because you know, today being May the 4th, which is I think good. You can visit the website for more information, and I'm just trying to find the password for the. Let's have a quick look.
What bit is it you're looking for, Andy?
Oh yeah, no, I've got it. It's good. So basically, here we go. We're going to announce, yeah, okay, so let me just stick on the quiz and I'll go back to this, right? So we're doing a quiz, which is, I think the results of that are today. Yes. And then we're doing a competition, which goes to the end of the month, end of June, I think. Right. And so basically we're giving away cash prizes, we're giving away Lightwave seats. So
what it is, Andy, on the quiz, we have 5 licenses available of 2024 that are up for grabs on the quiz. For the competition, there is 3 prizes, that are going to be credited into your account if you're the winner, which is £500, 250, and I think 100 or 150. I've got to look, but that will go into your account. Then you can use that to buy licenses if you want to later.
Yeah, brilliant.
And the quiz announcement is this evening, 8 p.m. GMT. Oh, sorry, British Standard Summertime. You'll find out today who wins. So if you do the quiz, do it today. You'll find out if you win today.
And
Brilliant.
the quiz is open now.
It's open now. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can start that in the gaps, when you get a chance, as you have a sandwich or coffee break. So obviously today we're announcing Lightwave 2024. So I think when we did 2023, obviously we brought it out towards the end of the year. So it was 2023, came out in November, and really we didn't, get the Mac version of that out until 2024, I think. And then obviously we've been updating that pretty much since. So this one we've been working on for a little while. And although we've been doing bug fixes and stuff, so 2024 is well underway. So we're going to be launching that this summer. So we're getting much closer to actually 2024 being an actual 2024 year release. So so we're doing that. So we don't know which month this summer, but we're aiming to get it out as soon as possible. So I suppose any time from June to September, technically that's summer, right? So it's so basically Lightwave 2024 upgrade is available today. So the upgrade, same as we did last year, you can start getting the upgrades. Obviously they help us if you can do that, which is really good. For this weekend only, we've got an extra 10% off. And if you, to get that, you just use the code Lightsabre, it being obviously Star Wars May the 4th weekend, right? So Lightsabre, not lightsaber, Lightsabre, good. All right, so that's the passcode to get your extra 10% off. So, if any of you want to get it and just get it a little bit extra cheaper, it's a good time to do it. And I think last year, everybody, when we did it, we got a lot of sales straight away, which was great. But also, I think a lot of people held back, not knowing or not really believing that we'd get done what we said we'd get done. But we did get done what we said we'd get done. So I think when I think everybody saw the last year's release, and I think pretty much across the board, everybody's commented on how big that update was. 2024 is equally going to be just as impactful. So we've got some major things coming out in that. I'll come back to that in a few minutes and run through that. Okay, so we've done Lightsaber, we're good. So we are also launching this summer the Asset Store. So the Asset Store is going to give you access to things like the classic content, obviously new content, textures, objects, images. We're going to do something there called Preset Central, which totally going to rest on the shoulders of Ben Vost. And so Preset Central is going to have in there. So basically, it's going to have everything in there, from GeoNode presets. It's going to have texture presets. It's going to have complex surfacing presets. All of that stuff is going to be there. Now, we might one day put that all in Lightwave, but we figured the easiest way of getting it, but also for third-party people to add to it, would be to put it on the website, and have accessibility will just be much easier for everybody if we do it that way. So obviously, we're going to encourage everybody, if you can create presets and things, we want as many in there as we possibly can get. There are going to be quite a few in there from when it goes live. And Ben has promised me he'll do literally 27 hours a day making that. No, anyway, so we'll get that. It'll be good. So, and obviously we have stacks of, sorry, Ben?
27, 9 days a week.
9 days a week, yeah, absolutely. And I think we've got stacks and stacks of classic content that Juice has got that we're going to put in there as well. So stuff that people haven't had to get hold of for a while, we will get back up there. And I know some of it's old, but a lot of it's still very, very good. So so obviously that's Preset Central, and then obviously we're going to have third-party plugins, both free and paid for. So that's starting again. So that's happening this summer. We're getting, again, huge amounts of help and advice on this from Kat and who's got massive experience on this, and so it really is trying to get the community involved and try to make that work really well. I would say right now we're bound to make a few mistakes, so don't worry about it. You know, we'll remedy it as the time goes on, but we will get that done this summer. Okay, so as we go through today, we're recording each session. So we're doing it in 2-hour chunks, and we're recording each of those 2 hours. So that will be made available, I believe, later on today. I don't know whether it's within a certain amount of time, but I believe they're coming up later on today. So you have to basically. Sorry,
on that, the recordings won't be out today, just in case they need any editing, if there's any peaks, but they'll be out really, really soon. So if there's no editing, they'll be out really quick. If there's a bit of editing, take a little bit longer.
Is that because you're going to have to need to delete out my mistakes so I look perfect?
Yes, exactly.
Thank you. Good. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's totally fair. So basically, they won't be available today, but they'll be available very soon as they've corrected my errors. Brilliant. So basically, that's each of the live links are going to be recorded. That does mean, though, everybody needs to, when one session ends, you need to log out and then log back in on the new session. Okay, so just remember that. You have to log out, log back in, and then the new session starts. Okay.
I've put there's a page on the website that has all the links for each session. I've put the page in the chat box for everybody, so it's really clear which media link is for what session, so that the recordings, we don't risk losing all the recordings if it's one big 10-hour long recording for one meeting link. Okay, that's why we've done it.
Can I just say something really funny? So when I got the competition bit wrong, I just realized I'd done a little line down to the bottom where I've listed the detail of the competition at the bottom, and I ignored it totally. So anyway, that's my first mistake of the day. One of many, I would imagine. So, okay, so the next bit. So how much time I got? I've got a little bit of time.
Well, I think what I'm looking at too is I believe there's now a betting pool going for how long it takes before Andy just passes out from talking so fast.
Yeah.
and if he's going to come back into the next one with his microphone turned off.
Yes.
Ooh,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The stakes
That's a big one. That's a big one. Coming in muted. That's our Andy.
There's a reason we don't have HR at Lightwave. It's because otherwise we'd all be fired from taking the piss out of Andy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have to say this happens every single time. So we do, meetings every day. Basically, we have like little sessions, and I swear to God, every time we do a session with the group of us, Giles mutes me on the way in, and I start talking, and I literally never learn. I do it every day, every session. It's much to the amusement of Juice, who just immediately rolls up laughing, and I realise I'm on mute. But anyway, right, okay. So let's start just going through some of the interesting stuff. So obviously, this is just the first session. The second session is where we start doing the demos. So you'll all be to go and get a croissant or watch the videos and, do whatever you're going to do, get some coffee and stuff before we start. So I'm just going to give a quick run through of some of the new things that we're working on for the new version of Lightwave. Okay. So, okay. Weight brush, which I think we've already said. So weight brush isn't just a very simple weight brush. I honestly can't wait for you to see it. It's so much fun, and it's about as personally, I think it covers everything so well. It's just brilliant. It's even got a system in there when you're doing weight brushing for rigging, where you can put hold bones in, and I mean, much to me and Juice's surprise when we were looking at it, it's just fantastic. So you'll see that later on. Amazing. So tendril, which tendril in its simplest form, again, we'll be showing that, but it is again amazingly powerful. You can even use it for doing sort of markups on the screen if you want to, for taking notes on things. It's fantastic. So we've got that. There's thicken and lathe, which are two new geo nodes, which are great. Obviously, we've got photon shading, fog. We're just working on integrating in for Octane. We've done an update to Unreal to 5.4, so that's coming, which is really good. I don't know whether that's coming earlier or later, but it's available anyway. We're going to be doing that. We've updated the OpenVDB, so that's been updated. We've also now got Python 2 for the Mac, so so that's good. Shouldn't, in theory, be possible, but we've got that working, so that's good. We have a oh god, it's still being worked on. It's very early days, but there's an edge shader which Elmo is working on, which is really for the anime market, but actually useful for lots and lots of things again. And again, a fantastic tool. So that's coming. We've got new lights in Octane. So a load of new lights being added in. There's a turbulence update. So we've got OpenVDB for turbulence, which we're, again, early days, we're still working on it, but we won't be able to show that today, but it's coming. We are pretty certain. I mean, it may end up being bumped, but we are in the process of updating Chronosculpt as well. So hopefully we'll have that there this summer. It might be a little bit later, but it's definitely being worked on. The Alembic importer, we've got a whole new Alembic importer, so I might just show a little bit of that today. But it means we can take full-on particle stuff from, let's say, Houdini, and if I think we've got Sean has put together a little loader from Houdini, which we can just basically import straight into Lightwave, which then means obviously we can make that work with Octane and Unreal and through Lightwave and in the Lightwave scene. So we've got that as well. That's working. So we'll hopefully show that today. We've done something specifically for one particular developer, but actually it's going to be useful for everybody, I think. We've got a point slide and an edge slide being made. Juice describes that better than me. I always fluff it, but Juice, do you want to describe it just for a second?
Well, I mean, it is one of those modeling tools and modeling workflows that a lot of people have wanted. One in particular, I shall doff my hat to, that we are bringing in. It's the ability to slide selected points or single points or whole rows of points along their connected edges. This is really, really useful for hard edge or for hard body modeling, for adjusting in sub-D, to being able to tighten up edges and tighten up rows. Yes, Lewis, I doffed my hat.
Yeah. It was for Lewis, who literally busted our chops, and it's going to be fantastic. And actually, I think when we were talking about it, and I think when Juice had assigned it, actually it makes total sense with the workflow that that's going to be put in there. So it's really, really good, and it's being done. So I won't say any more. So we've also actually, again, another really cool plugin. So we've done so this is kind of a little sidebar, but Steve Hurley, who is a great developer for Lightwave, obviously retired and moved on and so on. And we spoke to Steve.
We love Steve.
Oh my God.
Steve Hurley. Oh, we love him.
Totally
Such a great guy.
Amazing guy. And he's like Steve Worley. I mean, the pair of them created plugins over the years that have just been outstanding. Anyway, Steve retired and he didn't really want to do any more work and so on. Anyway, a year in, I say royal we, it was Juice, but the royal we chatted with Steve, Juice, and Juice, in his charming, cherub little way, basically managed to persuade Steve actually turned out Steve was a little bored and had been doing some development work, and we've managed to persuade Steve to get involved with us for all of his sins and to help us. So we've kind of done this. I suppose it's a deal with him, but it's better than that, really. He's going to be still developing things and working on things with us ongoing. But what that does mean is his remaster tool, which was a retopologize sort of tool. We're getting that and going to be putting that into Lightwave, and that is fantastic. So let's say you're doing facial geometry and you want to move and change some of the point where it is. It does this markup on the face, so you can see how that's going to affect the surrounding geometry, and then you can airbrush stuff and move stuff around. It is absolutely a fantastic piece of kit. So we've got that. That's going to go into Lightwave. Obviously, we've got advanced placement, So we're going to be putting that in. And advanced placement uses a different physics engine than Bullet, and it's kind of both simpler, but also it does certain things exceptionally well. So if you drop things down to, so it was originally designed for putting debris on the floor so it fell naturally where it would fall. It does it, and it's rock solid. So we've got advanced placement in there now as well. So that's going to be a really, really nice set of functions. But it's not just for things like that. You can use advanced placement for filling a bowl, or and everything just falls naturally. It's a really, really good system. So we've got that. That also led us on to so I think most of you probably know from previous chats, I want to get some fluid solutions in there. And obviously with the OpenVDB, that gives us the ability to access some fluid capability, and we've got a flip fluid thing that we can work on there. But that's going to take us a while to develop, but we're still working on that. But again, Steve had Up, and Up was a flip fluid style fluid simulator that again we've taken that on board. We're going to be developing that further as well. That's going to be there. It doesn't stop our need to do big particle stuff, which we're also going to be working on, but that's going to take us a bit of time. So Up is coming in 2024 as well. So it's advanced placement Up and remesh. So we've got those things. We've also done so we've done a corporate sponsorship with Polyhaven. So we will eventually create a plugin for Polyhaven that basically is included inside Lightwave. But what that basically means is that we're helping support their development, and we're aiming to sort of get things like leaves, bushes, and things specifically done for Lightwave in Point Haven. So we again another really nice partnership we've got going with those guys. We also have another really, really useful plugin. And actually, there's a question I haven't asked Sean, but I'm just going to pose it at the end. But basically, it's kit surface translation tool. We need a prettier name for it than that. But basically, what it does, it converts kit bash stuff, max trees, mega scans, and things from textures.com to the Lightwave access and converts it so it's fully ready for use with Lightwave. So it will just translate the stuff from one directory to a new directory that basically is fully Lightwave compatible. And I mean, actually, it will be very useful for things I would imagine. So Sean, you don't need to answer this now, but for things like 3D Studio Max stuff, which is the same axis as things from Kit Bash and so on, because a lot of those things are designed originally from the architectural point of view. It will be able to translate those things, I think, straight into Lightwave. So anyway, we've got that. That's going to go into Lightwave as standard as well, which again will speed up workflow immensely for people. So that's in there as well. I think that's me. I think that's pretty much covered. Oh, yes. Also, obviously, as you know, we bundle the Prime version of Octane with Lightwave. All the demos we do today are on single GPU machines. So even if the window comes up and it looks like there's two GPUs, it can see both GPUs, but the version we're using is the Prime version, so single GPU version. So I just want to let you know that so you get an idea of how the speed is running. It isn't me cheating with two GPUs, but also we've got the studio version of Octane available as well. So that will be up on the website at some point soon. So that means we're now fully developing and supporting the versions of multi-GPU Octane as well as the single seat, which we include as standard. Do remember, if you want to add multiple GPU, you need to obviously purchase that license from Otoy, but the actual plugin for Lightwave, which used to cost, is included. We basically give it away free, but it will be from the website, our website. You just pick that up and you can use that as standard. Remember that I think that used to cost $250 or pounds, I think. Anyway, that's included for free with Lightwave's license. So effectively, you'll have the Lightwave parts of the Octane all included with Lightwave as standard. One bit included, when you buy it built in, and another part you just download from the website. There is a minor thing I think you have to do when you do the swap over from one to the other. I think you just swap the 3 internal plugins and put back the 3 multi GPU plugins, and it works great. So we've got that, so that's good. And got to make sure I don't read off the other things I can't mention. I think I'm covered. I think that's pretty much it. Hopefully, and breathe. So that is, I think we've kind of covered. So that's a lot of the new features that we've got coming in Lightwave 2024. Again, another really big update. There's some things which we haven't mentioned, but are coming. I think you've all got the idea of the competition. You know what the day is. Obviously, I hope you all join us for the other sessions throughout the day. Juice, you got something?
Yeah. What day is it? Is it today?
May the 4th.
Oh my God. I've got this Lightwave event I got to get to. Hang on. Oh, I think it's early. I think it's really, really early.
It is really early. Yeah, it's extremely early. So it's for all those guys who've obviously got up early, any from the state side, thank you. Obviously, stay with us. Go and get some coffee or watch the next demos. There's an interview with me. You always can see that, obviously later on. But obviously, make sure you join us again on the live ones and watch those. Say, Ben, you want to say something?
Yeah. If you do the quiz, make sure you put in the right email address. Otherwise, if you won one of those Lightwave 2024 licenses, it would be a shame if we couldn't contact you.
Yes. And please check your spam box if we do contact you and it's sitting in spam and then you don't win.
Yes. And I think, by the way, I mean, obviously this year we obviously built the website, gradually been upping the website. The purchase system this time, famous last words, isn't it? The purchase system this time is rock solid. Let's see. And so
let's put that to the test.
Yeah, let's put it to the test. So
actually, it's probably a good point to raise, Andy. So the purchase system is we are still using our Shopify site because we have been riddled with bugs trying to get a payment platform sorted for us, just because of all the different regions we deal with. We are hoping to have that done in the next few weeks. So there'll be no more Shopify, and people who have things for tax for businesses, etc., chargebacks, that will all be sorted. If you have any problems with it at the moment, just email me. I've put my email in the chat, and I will help you sort out your tax queries for the moment.
And it is bizarre, isn't it? When we bought Lightwave, our overriding sort of aim was to obviously update it, improve it, and start getting it back to where it should be. But the last thing I suppose we really thought of was all the other things, the website, the complexities, the purchasing complexities, the tax implications. We just dealing with those things worldwide is a huge amounts of work. And I know Joe and Giles spend a huge amount of time dealing with just that part of things, just the admin side of things. It's immense work, and it's very easy for people to think that these things just work, but literally they take weeks and weeks of work. And we've set up a fairly automated system for updates, but even there, the intricacies are incredible because people have got multiple accounts. So if you've registered on one account, but then many years later, you've changed accounts, we may have the wrong account. So there's all kinds of things that go on, which we weren't thinking about, I suppose, when we started this. So we really, really are very grateful for everybody bearing with us and sticking with it and putting up with sometimes those issues. But obviously we are function focused, and we're learning rapidly about those other things as we go through.
Andy, someone's posted on the chat on the pre-order page. Oh, Kevin has posted.
I've already responded.
Okay, right. Thanks.
Yeah, and anyone who's got a 25% lifetime discount, you will be getting an email very soon. It is my fault. I got like not much sleep last night. I didn't get the email out. You will get a code that has your 25% discount thing. Please don't worry, it's coming.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's yeah. We did mean that when we said it.
Yeah. And like I said, when we sort out the new payment platform, which is literally only a few weeks away, that will be built into your account, and you'll never have to deal with codes. It's just always there for the rest of your life. It's just at the moment while we're dealing with technical issues.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much me done. I suppose if there's any more questions or anything else, any of the guys want to say, Juice, Ben, anything you want to add?
I think we need to run the demos.
Yeah.
Well, first off is the interview with Andy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to play that.
Running out of time.
Which I think is the first time someone's actually asked me, why did we buy it? So yeah.
Masochism.
Oh, my error.
How
No,
did you
it's
answer? Gonna have to watch the interview to find out now, aren't we?
Yeah. What made you so stupid that you did that? No, it's
what madness? What madness?
What madness made you buy this? Yeah. So yeah, there are questions there which I really didn't expect. So it's so anyway, watch that, and I think afterwards, yeah, the history reel, by the way. Most of you will have seen the stuff. It's obviously done over the years. Oh, I mean, I can't say what it is, but this year, by the way, I just want to say before we end this session, some of the shows people are doing and some of the films that people have been working on throughout the year, and some of the things we discovered this year where people have used Lightwave over the last few years, unbelievable. We thought Lightwave was just not being used, but it has been used on so many huge movies and huge TV series. Many of them, obviously, there are some obviously we're not allowed to mention. Some of the reasons why we're not allowed to mention is because those films have said that it's all filmed and it's all, none of it's CG.
Such a lie.
Yeah. There's so many shots on some of those things are Lightwave, and there's a couple of shows we will be able to mention towards the end of the year that are current, that are stunning, absolutely amazing, hugely popular, massive TV shows that, again, large portions of the effects done in Lightwave. So just wanted to say that it is been I don't know why it shocked me so much, but it has been a massive, both eye-opener, but a real privilege to see so many people coming out of the woodwork showing us stuff. I mean, some stuff we can't show, but it has been an absolute amazing ride this year. And I cannot stress enough, even if we can't show it, keep on showing us stuff. And if we can't show it, let us know, obviously. But if we can show it, I would dearly love to show some of that stuff. So if you get permission for things and can allow us to show even just a still, we would love that. But just get us art, get us pictures, and remember, if it can't be shown, that's completely fine, but we'd still love to see it. And it kind of inspires us every day, and it inspires the programming team very much. Sorry, that just wanted to mention that.